that all men are created
equal
to the magnificent mosaic that is America.
From radio beacon to radio beacon.
I have a dream today.
Change has come to America.
Believe it.
Help is on the way.
Knock, knock. Who's there?
It's a figment of your imagination.
Randi Rhodes Show.
Turn up your mind.
Former Twitter employees on Capitol Hill yesterday.
This didn't really go the way they expected, did it?
No. In a 6-hour House Oversight Committee hearing, the 4 former employees faced questions about the company's decision to ban the sharing of a 2020 New York Post article, which made unsubstantiated claims about then-candidate Joe Biden's youngest son, Hunter. Shortly after the Post published the article, Twitter pointed to concerns about hacked material as the reason for blocking the story. Twitter has since admitted that decision was a mistake, but in yesterday's hearing, the former employees refuted claims that the site colluded with the Biden campaign and FBI to influence the results of the 2020 election. In fact, a former employee said yesterday that it was actually the Trump White House that tried to influence Twitter's content.
What?
This is where we're at. After model Chrissy Teigen responded to this attack against her by the then president in 2019.
You testified about a 2019 tweet that was about President Trump, and I think it was from Ms. Teigen. What was the tweet about?
Would you like me to give the direct quote?
Yeah.
Please excuse my language. This is a direct quote, but Chrissy Teigen referred to Donald Trump as a
Okay. Free speech. And what happened after Ms. Teigen posted her tweet? What did the White House do? What did the Trump White House do?
From my understanding, the White House reached out to ask that this tweet be removed.
Veep. Yeah, this is Veep. In another moment yesterday, that same former employee revealed that her bosses changed Twitter's internal rules. Meek and I know something about this.
Yeah.
A lot about this to accommodate Trump's hateful rhetoric against immigrants.
I'd like to show you a tweet posted by former President Trump about my colleagues and I on July 14th, 2019. It says in part, quote, "Why don't they go back and help fix the totally broken and crime-infested places from which they came?"
My team, Ray, made the recommendation that for the first time we find Donald Trump in violation of Twitter's policies.
At the time, Twitter's policy included a specific example when it came to banned abuse against immigrants, as they specifically included the phrase, "go back to your country," or go back to where you came from, correct?
Yes, that was specifically included in the content moderation guidance as an example.
You brought this up to the Vice President of Trust and Safety, Del Harvey, correct?
I did, yes.
And she overrode your assessment, didn't she?
Yes, she did.
And something interesting happened after she overrode your assessment. A day or two later, Twitter seemed to have changed their policies, didn't they?
Yes, that trope, "go back to where you came from," was removed from the content moderation guidance as an example.
So Twitter changed their own policy after the president violated it in order to potentially accommodate his tweet?
Yes.
Oh! That did not go the way that they wanted it to go at all. Not even close. So what we learned yesterday from the Republican Twitter Files hearing, which went on for 6 hours for them to drill down on a Rupert Murdoch New York Post article, which in the end turned out to contain numerous falsehoods. Okay, numerous falsehoods. They took down the article for not even 24 hours, Twitter did, on their own, because they suspected that it was full of Russian disinformation, although it was in the end restored to Twitter less than 24 hours after Twitter took it down, because they were very concerned after 2016 of Russian interference in our elections. And in fact, there was testimony yesterday that there are Russian bots all over Twitter now, like right now, like in this moment, in this second, right today. Russian bots trying to sow discord inside the United States. Some of the bots are fighting with each other, and they're from the same troll farm in St. Petersburg that was run by the Warner mercenary guy, Prigozhin, Okay, same guy who's raping jails, Chechen jails and Syrian jails and, Russian jails, and telling prisoners that they could either fight in Ukraine and die there or they can rot in jail. These are their choices. And some of them are choosing to go to Ukraine in what Ukrainians are calling meat waves, because these Russian prisoners, these Chechen prisoners, have zero fighting ability, skills, or equipment. And so Prigozhin is the guy that's deploying them on behalf of Wagner mercenaries. He's the same guy that ran this troll farm and runs this troll farm out of St. Petersburg, where hacked material was disseminated, hacked material from the DNC was disseminated, and where crazy crap was being inserted on Twitter during the 2016 election. Okay, so now we know, what it is that was and is going on Twitter. But the Republicans decided they were going to have this Twitter files hearing because Elon Musk and, some supposedly left-wing, these guys, like I said, have gone so far to the left that they've come around the top and now they're on the right, okay? Matt Taibbi, a whole bunch, Glenn Greenwald, you know the crew. You know who I'm talking about, okay? These, real nutbags who are always looking for a story to the point where they will manufacture one, have decided that they were going to release the Twitter files, which showed that a single New York Post article was taken down by Twitter for less than 24 hours before it was reposted on Twitter, was worthy of a 6-hour congressional hearing so that Jim Jordan could try to lie to the American people and suppose that Donald Trump, when he was president and was running the government, that his FBI inserted itself into the Twitter sphere, into Twitter hierarchy, in order to protect Hunter Biden. This is the working theory of Jim Jordan. And yesterday, at this 6-hour Twitter files hearing, what we learned is the exact opposite. What we learned was that Donald Trump was inserting himself into Twitter to try and take down tweets from people that he felt were insulting to him.